Greg, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the...
Thanks. Okay. This is our 2019 Season of the Dragon post-show. Thank you for joining us. We have some guests here. We're actually live from Twitch headquarters, which is really exciting.
And we have friends.
We have some friends.
Special guests.
Two. I'm Gina Bruno. I'm one of the community managers for the Elder Scrolls Online. We can kind of go around the horn here, I guess.
I'm Ninja614. I'm a member of the ESO stream team, and I'm an old biker that plays Elder Scrolls Online on Twitch.
I'm Rich Lambert, creative director.
You again?
Me again, yes.
I'm Jibs from the Lore Seekers podcast.
And I'm Jessica Folsom, also on the ESO community team.
So thanks, everybody, for joining us today. We're going to start just kind of recapping what did we just announce. Rich was just doing an incredible announcement with Kelly from Twitch. We announced just this whole crap load of stuff.
Whole year.
So we're going to Elsweyr in the upcoming chapter in Q2, which is pretty exciting. There's going to be dragons, a new Necromancer playable class, a full 12-player trial, which is really cool.
That has each boss having its own unique hard mode.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, we were saying we just kind of noticed Alcast's head probably exploded when we said that.
I think this is the player reaction right now. We've got we made our own little meme based off of some of the memes we've seen from all of you.
Yeah.
Featuring
Chimera,
who
who was the female Khajiit there.
Yep.
And basically, all of the DLCs that we're doing in 2019 is a year-long
There she is.
story. So it's a year-long story spanning all of the DLCs and the chapter that we are lovingly calling Season of the Dragon.
What did you guys think?
Oh my gosh. It was good.
Was it amazing?
It was so good.
Were you out there shrieking and squealing and
Yeah,
dancing?
a little bit. I was trying to be too loud because we're out there watching, and then I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I was back at the sound booth, and they're trying to run the show, and I'm like, oh my God, look at that! Oh God! Oh, sorry.
it was so good. Just seeing dragons flying in the air again in an Elder Scrolls game is fantastic.
Yes.
It's the best thing.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I know chat is very interested to hear who won that really special lithograph. You're going to be the owner of an Elsweyr art print.
Whoa.
Maybe
I
you
want
can get one
of those.
too.
Sign up while you're up there.
I want one of those.
I want one of those.
So that's what it looks like. You can see on the screen. The winner is. You want to try and pronounce this?
Redinator.
Redinator 101.
There you go.
Congratulations. Somebody
Come
will
on
be in
down.
touch with you to get your address. We'll ship that to you. Congrats.
Yay.
So you can actually pre-purchase Elsweyr right now. The website is up. We are taking pre-purchases, and if you pre-purchase now, you get immediate access to the Rod Mothra horse mount. Now, these are for digital pre-purchases only, but it looks really cool. You might even see some people riding around on it already.
Already, yeah.
It's black and electric.
It's awesome.
So you'll get that. Just look in your collections as soon as you pre-purchase the digital version of Elsweyr.
Very necromancy.
It is, right? So you also get immediate access to Morrowind and Somerset. Now, this is for full digital versions only, but it's just kind of a cool perk in case you're not already playing Elder Scrolls Online. You can get right in and start playing Tamriel Unlimited and Morrowind and Somerset. Good stuff.
There's going to be
also-
physical copies.
So we are not doing a physical collector's edition this time, but we are talking about having some sort of goodies kind of tied to the whole Season of the Dragon thing. So more information is to come. But yeah, we can clarify there is no actual physical Elsweyr collector's edition.
But what am I going to put on my studio on my shelf?
Would you quit whining?
We have some
you can
stuff
put this
planned.
water there,
We have
all right?
some stuff planned.
Take this glass
Just
with
wait,
you.
just
Just glass of water and just stop it.
There's some cool stuff. I like this, Gina. She's like, shut up. You moving on.
And
All right, so there's also other items when you pre-purchase.
Yep. So in addition to, there they are.
Yeah.
So the pre-purchase items, you have the Noble Clan Chief costume. That's a Khajiit themed costume.
Meow.
The Blue Dragon Imp pet. So that's a cool one. Maybe we can talk a little bit about how that works, because that's a pretty unique pet. The Bandari Peddler Crate, Elsweyr treasure maps, and of course, XP scrolls.
Why is that a unique pet?
So
Tell us
do we?
why.
Tell us more.
So dragons, There are no baby dragons.
There are not.
There are no baby dragons in Elder Scrolls lore.
There's no children in Tamriel either.
Yeah,
There's no dragon eggs. No one really knows how dragons come into the world in Tamriel. It's a mystery. It's kind of like the Dwemer. Just nobody knows.
That's just how it is. It's like when you try and explain to your toddler something and they just keep asking why. It's like, it's
Why?
just
Why?
just because.
Why?
It is.
Yeah.
Get your jacket on. Get out in the
He's
car.
the guy. Why?
So awful.
No one in Tamriel's old enough to have the talk yet, so.
Haven't hit
So
the age.
that pet is basically an imp that
It's an imp that can kind of change its appearance. It's an illusion, and that's how we were kind of getting in the baby dragons
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
without destroying the lore.
Gotcha.
Genuine foe,
Neat.
baby dragon.
There you go.
And of course, there's collector's edition goodies that come with the digital collector's edition. This comes with the full version and the upgrade. So there's the, let's see, we're looking for,
Maybe.
there we go. A
love that
super
mouse.
cute Ashen Scar Jerboa pet. The Archaic Lore Tablet Memento. Looks like the Wrathstone. A awesome bulky new type of Khajiit called the Sench-Rot. And that is a mount. That's a favorite. The Dragonborn style outfit and the Khajiit cultural emote pack. So tons of cool stuff that you can get.
Yes.
All of this you'll get when the chapter launches.
Still no Lyra's Titanborn mount, though.
That is so creepy, dude.
Nobody else wants that.
Come on, Lyra's Titanborn with a baby Bjorn backpack, and you
back.
just hop on his shoulders, and she runs you around.
on.
His chat totally wants that.
Sounds amazing.
So you can get Elsweyr for as little as $39.99 as an upgrade if you already own the Elder Scrolls Online. Otherwise, all the other prices are listed on our website, which again is back up in case you would like to pre-purchase now.
And you should.
So don't forget, Elsweyr is coming on June 4th for all platforms with PC Early Access starting on May 20th. So we're going to kick everything off next week with Wrathstone, which is coming to PTS next week,
Yes.
which means patch notes next week. We know we also talked a little bit about posting some of the changes coming to the racials for combat. We're going to be posting those in the next couple days, so keep an eye out. Wrathstone comes with 2 brand new dungeons, Depths of Malatar and Frostvault, the Guild Trader UI, Zone Guide, and more things, which we'll be talking about a little bit later in the show. So stick around.
Hit those dungeons next week.
Yes, yes. All right, so we know there's been some questions coming up from the community.
We promised to answer some of them. We were gathering behind the scenes while the
I don't know
last show
how
was
you read
going on.
through chat because it
No,
was
you know, we tried, but chat was pretty quick. No,
Wow.
we were hitting Reddit, the forums, Twitter, anywhere we could to grab questions.
Yes.
So we're going to answer some of those.
So one of the things that we saw coming up a lot was asking about extra character slots, since we are adding a new class to the game. A lot of people already have their character slots maxed out. So, Rich, would you like to touch on that?
How do you feel about that, Rich?
Tell us how you feel.
How do I feel about that?
Tell us how you feel.
Well, I know there's players out there that are already at character cap.
You
There's
one
a
of
few,
them?
you know,
Yeah.
sitting here. There's a few
the
out
Holic
there,
fam,
you
what
know,
are you gonna
watching. So what we're gonna do is with Elsweyr, we're gonna give everybody a free character slot.
Woohoo!
We're gonna be able to play the Necromancer, and then we're going to increase the maximum as well on top of that. We're not sure how many yet, but we know everybody's gonna be really excited to play Necromancer, and we want you to be able to play it.
Some people are going to want, 3, 4.
8, 9.
Well, I got 4 wardens. So,
4 necromancers coming right up. Now, what about what can we expect for a crafting hub in Elsweyr? Because we know Somerset was really big, pretty much had everything laid out right there.
People
But-
like those super convenient ones.
Yes.
Yeah, we learned a lot with Somerset. Rimmon, which is kind of the main hub that you're going to get to go and explore. That was actually the city you saw in the trailer, which looks amazing.
Yep.
We're going to try to do something similar for that.
Great. Just in case anyone is still typing dragon into chat, we finished our giveaway.
Click
Unless you're just,
Apologize, you didn't win. Yeah, maybe you're just really excited. for
unless you're just
dragons,
doing
and
it to
that's
troll
fine.
Gina, and then it's okay.
That's her trigger.
It's not okay.
Oreo.
You
She's
know.
triggered.
Oreo Kyle Banana is the code word.
Oh my gosh.
You're going to get banned again.
I can actually physically ban you from this room if you want.
Right now.
I get dragged out by my ear. You're out.
We'll just
people-
kind of push him aside. It'll be fine.
Some people are also asking, who is the guy who appeared in the wagon at the end of the CG trailer? Now, some of you know, but some of you don't, and they were asking.
So that's one of the things we love to do in our trailers, is to try to throw a player analog in there. And so that is actually the Breton from our original launch trailers. So he is the player analog throughout the entire year.
A lot of people thought he died.
Well, but he got
I guess
more
he
turned into like an
didn't.
undead dude.
Look at this guy. Look at this
Like
guy.
one of the worm dudes, and he's been gone for a while. Now all of a sudden you see him with the glowy eyes in the cage, representing the Necromancer class, the player coming back. And the first question I asked was like, "Hey, is that supposed to be us? Just like the elven chick is supposed to be the player that we saw in all the other stuff? Yeah. So that's the nameless placeholder for you.
It's you.
Perfect.
Although I don't play Breton, so.
Oh.
We had some questions from people asking, how do I get that hot pepper bantam guar pet? That was the second milestone unlock, which we unlocked basically before we even started.
That was amazing.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my face just went white when Kelly was like, "Hey, we're
By
just
the way-
starting and you got this already."
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was
Totally
good.
amazing.
So the Bantam Guar pet, all you need to do, it's for all platforms. Just log in anytime this month. Just have to log in. If you already logged in sometime in January, it's cool. But then it'll be delivered sometime in March.
When
March
Wrathstone
something.
goes live.
Okay.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do. So when Wrathstone goes live, you'll get the pet.
It'll show up in your collections. So minimal effort just for watching. And thank you for watching.
Yes.
All right. The Khajiit's name in the trailer. That's actually a pretty good segue to talk a little bit more about this amazing trailer that we showcased earlier. So, who was this nameless Khajiit that we saw?
This is Chimera,
Chimera.
and she
Chimera
plays.
is bae. So many people love her. Like, she's already got a huge fan base.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer is amazing, and the Blur, who's the studio that we work with to make this, were amazing to work with. We actually flew out to visit them. We kind of walked them through scripts. We had lots of really cool back and forths. And I think it shows in that trailer just how, tuned in to what we were trying to accomplish with that trailer. They're amazing, and I'm super stoked about what they're doing next.
Yes, yes. And as Rich mentioned in the announcement stream, there will be a continuation of that trailer a little later
at
this
E3.
year. Yeah, at E3.
That's the next one, so
All right.
it's going to be awesome.
And I think this is the very first time we've ever shown a new character in a trailer that you will be able to meet in the game.
Yeah, she plays
we
a very large
introduced her,
part
yeah.
in the main story of this year.
But we won't say anything more than that.
That's that shade she throws Abner Tharn at the end of the
Wasn't that
trailer.
great?
Yeah,
She's just all like, you.
really?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
had one job, man.
It's so good.
just the animations that they have in there. They did, Blur is amazing at what they do, and they knocked everything out of the park. with
It's very subtle, but it makes it feel a lot more alive. It's
just
very cool.
when you look at Chimera and she's like, oh, I almost swore. Whoa,
Holy shnikes.
holy cow!
We're
Like
adults.
you see her eyes open up when the door's opening, and she's just like, oh, like you don't usually see that kind of attention to detail. And
Yeah, her
it's awesome.
pupils die. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything, yeah.
So now you guys understand when you saw that short teaser that we did last week.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now,
Yeah,
right?
that was fun.
The
It
teaser.
was totally fun.
yeah.
It would have been more fun if it didn't get data mined, but
Yeah, that was the idea. It was going to be really rewarding because nobody
It would
knew
have been the
anything
very
about
first.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But some jerks had to go and spoil everybody's fun.
yes, well, moving on.
I think there was some shade.
Leave
thrown
that
there.
one laying.
All right, we'll just leave that one there. So dragons. In
So
ESO.
dragons.
That's a thing now. It's gonna happen.
It is. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my gosh. All right, so I go back to the trailer again. Yeah, that was pretty much
Yeah.
what happened. Like, we were out there watching it and we're just freaking out, especially at the very end. What's that dragon's name? The big one.
The big one?
Can we?
So
Cal.
his name, I'm going to call him Cal forever because
Yep.
it's easy to say, but it's Caligrantide.
Okay, so Cal?
Cal.
Okay.
With a
Our
K.
friend
All,
Cal.
all dragons are 3-syllable names.
Oh man, you know I struggle on that. All right. But anyway,
I
yeah.
have to try to pronounce them. Like, Lawrence actually reads out all the really difficult names so that we can pronounce them.
Yep, and he can tell you that you're wrong.
Yep, and he has
And you're wrong.
many times.
He just looks at you and goes,
Yep.
Nope.
Try again.
Uno mas. But yeah, no. The very end of that trailer when Cal flew out, gosh, just that moment. Yeah, the sunset. That should be a background. That was awesome to see dragons again. I mean, it's been 7 years since we've seen, or played an Elder Scrolls game with dragons, or a new one, I should say. And so just to see them flying around and know that they're back in the world, and they're not bones now. I mean,
You're right,
They are real dragons.
yeah.
And we aren't Dragonborn, so
Yeah.
we can't go Fusra Da no more.
Right.
And I think it just hit my mic. Sorry, everybody.
Pro streamer right
But I like how the cow's coming out of the cave, and he pauses for a minute and kind of looks at Abner.
Yeah.
And it gives you that moment of this is a really powerful creature, and he's not even going to waste his time.
He's
with
like,
these
"I'm
flies
gone."
right here. He just gives him that
leaves
kind
her
of,
there.
and then flies away
he
after
just
a
looks
roar.
at him like, thanks.
It's really, it's really well done. It tells a whole lot in a short period amount of time. Yeah, I'm super stoked.
And we worked a lot with Bethesda too to make
Yes.
sure that we're kind of sticking within the lore guidelines and everything.
Absolutely. That's one of the most interesting parts of our job is working with Bethesda on the lore and, making sure that we're doing the IP right. Most of that team has been together since like Morrowind. So they're super well versed in the lore and they really care about it. So they keep us on our toes.
And we loop them in pretty early too. Like we have some concept art of the dragon. If we want to show that off, just sort of some early ideas of what we want dragons in ESO to look like.
Oh man.
And just different poses.
So
And
cool.
yeah, and you were saying that there's actually a way that we can make dragons look different, almost like Legos, like put little pieces
created
together
pieces,
or something.
yeah.
One of the things that the art team did really early on was explore how we can almost build a parts-driven system to dragons to get some variation in there. And so they came up with a way to kind of put different pieces of dragon parts together so that we get unique dragons so they don't look all the same.
That's really cool. Can we talk about maybe what kind of dragon Cal
Well, there's only
is?
3, right?
There's only 3 kinds of dragons.
There's only 3
Who told you that?
actual dragons.
Dead mind.
Who said that?
I'm asking the question. It looks
you
like
saw 3 come out.
Yeah. Oh, snap. Oh,
To be
snap.
continued.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, dragons aren't gone in our time period. Most of them are in hibernation or hiding.
Yeah.
And there were a few in the Halls of Colossus, which you got to see in the trailer. And when they kind of come out of hiding, they go look for friends.
Where's my bros?
Exactly.
So moving on, one of the other things that we revealed was the new Necromancer class that is coming. This is the first time we've added a class since the Warden. It's pretty exciting. How do you sort of plan how this type of class is going to fit into an existing game that's already kind of matured in a sense? Oh, and we have some really cool concept art too.
Yeah, this is actually one of their, this is
This would be
post studies and concepts for their damage line.
the Elementalist.
Which I think the name is still in flux or it changed.
It is. We're still very much work in progress on all of this stuff, but you get to see some of the ideas, some of the concepts that we have. So there's the kind of the skeletal bomber that I touched on. This is kind of the tanking line, so you can see the idea of the bone colossus down there in the bottom right. I know you're looking at that.
That's awesome.
But there you go. There's a good example of what we're thinking.
It's kind of an updated bone colossus,
Yeah, look
not
at that
the original
Argonian
bone
bone colossus. Oh my lord! Will it have
So
a
the
dog
player
with a
gets to
tail
turn
and
into that, yeah?
They do. That's
even noticed
the
that.
ultimate the tanking line.
Yay!
And to answer your questions, one of the things that we look at is, are there any kind of holes in what we're thinking in terms of the classes? We look at the lore, we look at, the player fantasies that are kind of missing from the game, and Necromancer, is one of the biggest ones that we were missing, and something that players have asked for literally forever. Since beta, they've been asking
For sure, yeah. All right, so we know you talked about pets and corpses a little bit in the announcement. Do you want to give 1 or 2 examples of some abilities that players can expect?
Sure. Let's see if I can remember the name. So one of the damage ones I think is called Graveyard.
Yep.
I think that's kind of a temp name for
Yeah,
now, but
but the idea behind it is it's a ground targeted AoE, and you throw it on the ground, and it does AoE damage. If you throw that down on top of a corpse, it gets bonus damage from it. So the same thing kind of works with the healing line. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. It's Essence something.
Release Essence.
Release Essence. There you go. Almost got it. And basically with that, it's kind of like Healing Springs. You throw this on the ground and it does kind of a burst heal initially. But if you drop that on a corpse, it'll heal everybody in the area for that burst heal, and then they'll also get a hot on top of them. Or heal over time or top of them. So it really fits that kind of strategic.
And the more corpses there will give you more of a bonus? Or?
That's something that we're going to work on in numbers balance. I think that's going to be horribly broken. But
why? A stack of dead players in a keep?
What could go wrong?
Free heals for days?
We'll dig into that and we'll look at that. But the idea is the abilities are always useful, even if there aren't any corpses around, but you can also summon your own corpses, and you can power them up.
Now, I know you had a question we talked about earlier of the lore. Like, how do you tap into the lore of Necromancers from all the other Elder Scrolls games to kind of decide the skill lines?
Yeah, so like when you're looking to put the Necromancer skill line together, looking back through all the lore, how did you do it? Like, how did you put all the parts?
A lot of meetings.
A lot of meetings.
A lot of fighting back and forth between, no, this is not a Necromancer, this is what a Necromancer is. But no, it's just a lot of talking and digging into the lore. You know, we lean really heavily on the lore, and we want to make sure that it fits in there.
Sure.
Necromancers are, you know, focused really around 3 schools of magic. I think it's illusion, destruction, and conjuration. And so we looked at a lot of those types of abilities, and that's where we got a lot of inspiration from the skill line. So I think the I think the Bone Colossus is a really good example of that. You know, where you're completely changing your appearance. You know, that's very much an illusion type skill.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Somebody in chat just asked if the use of the corpses affect the use of the Templar's Repent skill.
No, we actually changed that, I thought, a while ago, where multiple Templars could use the same corpse. So we're building on that technology, and now multiple Necromancers can, you know, utilize that same thing.
And what about werewolves? Can they devour these corpses too?
Very cool.
Exciting. All right, so moving on to the next thing, something that we didn't talk about in the announcement, but is also coming with Elsweyr, is a new Guild Finder feature.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
Yes.
So we have a screenshot of what that's going to look like. You can kind of see that guilds are going to be categorized into different types, and they'll be able to choose
so
how they want their guild categorized.
This works on both sides. So it works from the guild perspective that wants to kind of advertise their guild. There are a number of different things that you can choose that your guild kind of fits into, and you can see that stuff in there. And then you can advertise your guild, and then anybody that goes in and looks at that will be able to filter and search by those guilds and apply.
That's awesome.
And when they do apply, there's a tool set inside that allows the guild leaders or whoever has permission to kind of go through those applications.
That's going to be huge. Like, I'm sure you get these questions a lot when you stream too. Like,
Constantly.
how do I find a guild?
So we have to have commands in
Yeah.
chat, and they got to go to the Discord, and they got to give us their @name, and sometimes they don't know their @name, and we spend 10 minutes trying to get them invited. Where now we can be like, go in the game and just
search.
Find it.
You can look for
Put the
guilds
button in,
based
they'll
on
get you in
your
there.
interests,
I'm super
the
stoked.
type of stuff that you want to do, PvP, PvE, role-playing. Like, yeah, it's huge.
It's going to be a very nice quality of life improvement. And this,
Yeah,
again, this is a PC UI screenshot. It will also work with the gamepad UI, so console players will be able to use this as well.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yay. So Sunspire Trial, new full 12-player trial that is coming in Elsweyr. It's going to be about the length of Maw.
Look at that.
Right?
How awesome
Yeah,
is
isn't that badass? I love it. Can we say that?
That
Yes,
guy,
that is
is
pretty
making a mistake taking him on by himself.
Are you
isn't he?
ready? Are you ready to take that?
He needs 11 friends.
I hope that the other 11 people are back there behind off the screen,
Heels, please.
or else this is already a wipe, and I'm just waiting for my
Look,
time.
he's standing in the fire.
Are all the bosses dragons?
They are. This is a dragon trial.
And like Rich
Done.
mentioned earlier, each boss has its own hard mode.
Yeah, there's a unique hard mode. There's tons of cool new mechanics in there for you to learn and try to figure out. And there's also challenging base pop. You know, that was one of the things that we got a lot of feedback on in the last few trials is it feels too easy, it's too short. You know, we really love Mauve Lorcage. We like the mechanics, we like kind of the pacing. And so we listened and we put that in there, and I think you're going to be very surprised.
Tons
at
of
how
new
well it plays.
rewards.
Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff.
Are they going to get special types of rewards for each boss? since they have their own hard modes?
We're still digging through that stuff. It's probably safe to assume that it'll work kind of like Cloud Rest, where there's like a perfected and non-perfected. There will be titles, you know, that kind of
Skins.
Yep,
Maybe.
there will be at least a skin in there.
Nice.
But like I said, a lot of that stuff is still in flux. We're still working through that
Still have some
plan,
time.
but that's where we want to go.
Nice.
Lyris Titanborn mount as a reward, maybe?
No ninja, bad ninja, bad.
Let it go.
Collector's edition.
I figured try. I mean, you got to work really hard to get one of the sweetest mounts in the game. Hey,
Right. I saw somebody mention in chat asking about Twitch drops.
What about Twitch drops?
You just got the look.
What about Twitch drops? I didn't.
So Twitch drops are currently on. All you have to do is link your ESO and Twitch account on the website.
So you
The
don't want me to
ESO
give them-
website, that is.
You don't want me to give them the secret command for what they need to put in
No.
chat?
No. Drink your
Is it
water.
dragon?
I don't want to sing
killing
Baby
me.
Shark again, so I won't do it this time.
Killing me. The last thing in Elsweyr that you talked about during the announcement were the PvP updates. So we have the artifacts that you mentioned,
Yep.
which are going to be pretty crazy. That's actually what it looks like.
There's Volendrung. Yep.
Yeah.
That is
Ooh.
Shiny.
that's an Eye of Mordor hammer.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call it anything else.
That's what it is.
A
the
different
ends.
game, Jess.
And IC is going to be its own campaign, which is a pretty major change.
I have Sauron.
I saw.
I have Sauron.
So we know, guys, you don't have to type drops to get drops.
I didn't even say it. I didn't even say
Well,
it
it was
this
probably
time.
your wife.
You're
you
so
know?
fired.
It was your wife.
Ninja wife is fired now.
Did she do it?
We know none of this really matters unless we fix performance. And that's something that we see get brought up pretty frequently. We saw it in Twitch chat. We see it on the forums. What are you guys doing to fix the performance? And we do have plans for that. But our fearless leader, Rich, is going to talk about those
good.
plans.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard problem to solve. It's something that we want to solve. And this year we're focused on really two major initiatives. One is on fixture loading and how we load fixtures, how quickly we load fixtures. And the other is how we update the character. You know, the character is huge. There's all kinds of things. There's different gear and whatnot, and we have to load all of that into memory and make sure that it all works and runs properly. So those are the two big ones we're working on. Like I said, it's not an easy problem. It's going to take some time to work on, but
And
our
that's
goal,
game-wide, not
our
just...
goal is to, you know, fix that stuff and improve it significantly over the course of the year.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and that's not just Cyrodiil. It's game-wide.
Everywhere, game-wide.
Trials and
You know, that's
anything. Yep.
yeah, that's the big point.
Well, cool. When do you think some of those changes will start to go in?
It depends on how testing goes and how, you know, if we run into any other problems. I would, if I had to hazard a guess now, probably within the next 6 to 8 months. So it's going to take some time.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
just to give people an idea so they know. All right. Moving into Wrathstone.
Wrathstone.
So Wrathstone coming
First
to
DLC.
PTS next week. It is going to be our first DLC of the year.
Words.
I don't know what I was just trying to do there. I guess talk and read
It's
and
that
think.
Twitch
It's just-
chat on your...
Lawrence is staring
Yeah,
at you
I
right
know.
now.
It's so
Words.
distracting.
So
right?
Depths of Malatar and Frostvault, the two dungeons that are coming with it.
There's a whole bunch of really cool new mechanics in there. You got to see a little tease of some of them in the trailer. The Skivaton thing is actually the final boss fight in one of the dungeons.
A
so
Skivaton.
Skivaton fight.
It's really cool. I'm not going to spoil it. You have to jump in and play it on PTS.
Wow. So which one?
And I shall.
And the hard mode for that fight, by the way, is bonkers.
Bonkers.
We're expecting bonkers.
Bonkers hard
I
mode.
expect to hear a few fins.
Yeah.
So
As per usual.
this is a screenshot of one of the bosses that you'll be fighting in Frostvault. The one previous to that was Depths of Malatar. Again, one of the bosses that you'll be fighting. Yeah, that one.
Spoiler, the beams that were in that previous screenshot,
Yeah.
they might be a very important part of that fight.
There you
you
go.
go.
Tip.
Pro tip.
Don't cross the beams.
That's right.
Or maybe you have to cross the boss into the beams.
Oh, maybe.
I haven't played it, so I don't know.
You all can figure that out. I'm just going to say there's a tease.
Sounds like a player testable.
I love that. That's my favorite line. Love that line.
Where are these located?
So the Dwemer things that you saw, oh, Mike's gonna kill me. The Dwemer things that you saw are in Frost Vaults, and Depths of Malatar is the Iliad themed dungeon.
Right, but where in the world are they?
Oh,
do you remember?
off the top of my head, no.
I forget too.
I totally forgot.
Okay, no,
I have
that's
it
okay.
written down.
That's okay.
You know what? It's in the patch notes.
Oh.
They're in Tamriel.
They're in Tamriel.
He gets it. He understands.
They're in Tamriel,
It'll be in
guys.
the patch notes next week.
I was paying attention.
What was the deal with all the gold and everything in Depths of Malatar?
The gold and everything.
Like the gold
The golden
color?
stuff.
Oh.
No, the actual gold that was in the screenshot.
Oh.
Like they were
Gold.
fighting
On
literally
piles of
in
gold.
gold.
Yeah.
Or is that a spoiler?
You'll have to figure that out.
Scrooge
Part of
McDuck
the
is
story.
making a cameo, and this is his...
When you go in there, you'll have to kind of figure it out.
Okay.
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 Might be a little bit of interesting lore there.
Ooh, all right.
Of course there is.
Spoiler-free show. So we already talked about the zone guide that's coming in
Which
Wrathstone.
is really cool, by the
It
way.
is cool. Yeah.
It's super easy to use, and it totally makes your life easier.
What did I do?
You get to see all the stuff that you still need to do in the zone. So instead of having to go into your achievements and check, did I get all the sky shards? Did I defeat all the delve bosses? Did I defeat all the world bosses? You'll just have a nice little checklist there.
Yeah, it's super easy to get
nice.
distracted in our game. You know, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. I go away.
One Tamriel, man.
You know, and it's gonna make life easier for you.
This is a completionist dream.
Yep. New player and OCD player.
Well, just keeping them on a new player on the main quest for a zone.
Yeah.
It's huge right there because a lot of they're trying to get their skill points and they're trying to progress the story and get through all of the stuff. And I'm regularly, and those of us who play the game all the time, it's really easy for us to intuit our way through by looking at where you are in the zone and looking at the journal and remembering that quest that you did a couple of years ago and figuring out where you are. But to try to relay that quickly to a player who's asking the question, "Where am I?" This is going to be huge.
Oh, I think we've all done that too, playing games where you're playing for a while, you take a little break, you come back, and it's like, what was I doing again?
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
do it.
What
So
step was I on?
That'll definitely
Yeah.
make it a little bit easier. We talked about the Guild Trader UI changes, also coming in Q1. But, as always, there's more. We do have 6 new item sets and 2 new monster masks coming, and we'll be updating some of the existing Cyrodiil sets in Update 21. Fun collectibles from both the dungeons and PvP. PvP has some crazy little pet that you can get from the Gladiator Proofs? And there's going to be a hat, pet, skin, and dye from the dungeons that you can get. All this will be detailed in the patch notes, by the way. With
No, they
names.
have to remember it.
Just like we're all trying to remember
Totally less
everything.
work for you if you do that one.
Sure, yeah, less work. There is a new battleground coming in
There is.
the
I totally
upcoming
forgot that,
update.
yeah.
Eld Angvar.
Yes.
However you say it. You say it better than I do.
Eld
Eld Angvar?
Eld Angvar. And it is
Angvar.
very different from what you're kind of used to. So it's going to be really interesting to see how players react to it.
Different how?
Just moving around the map is different.
Yeah.
I like that. What? That's great.
That's good.
That was well timed. Well done.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just kind of the way you move around. There's, I don't know if you remember in Murkmire. Kind of in the
I remember Murkmire.
In the main story, there's kind of that almost dream of going back with the Aliens, and you're in the, so think that, but in a battleground.
All right.
That's cool.
I know also depending on the game mode that you choose, certain parts of the map will open and close and become inaccessible.
That is so
so
cool.
keeps it kind of fresh.
Yeah.
It does.
Interesting. All right.
That's pretty sweet.
Gonna test it out next week.
Probably.
Yes, of course.
You guys have to test everything out next week.
Okay.
Another big thing is the champion point increase that we have traditionally done every update. It's not happening this update. Not
Nope.
going to do it.
We're not going to increase it anymore. You know, that's something that we've heard loud and clear from players.
When is the next time you're going to increase it, Rich?
Tell us more, Rich.
Go ahead.
Wow. For the
we
foreseeable
all lean
future, we
in?
don't plan on increasing it.
Yeah, you heard it here, chat. For the foreseeable
Yeah,
future.
Chad is like, what?
No more
Yeah,
CP
it's
creep.
something that we've heard a lot. You know, we kind of agree with, you know, the power that the champion system is giving to players. And we want to take a step back and reevaluate the system and look at it and see if it's doing the things that we actually want it to do. So once we figure out what we want to do with it and how we want to address things, then we'll kind of talk more about it. But for now, we're not going to increase the cap.
Wow.
It's a good thing.
Heard it here first.
Good things
Yeah.
coming.
That I did not. I've anticipated a lot of things, but not that one.
And this will also help newer players
Yeah.
It will.
to get caught up a bit.
Catch up a little, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so again, all of this is coming to PTS next week, along with the patch notes. What other questions does everybody have? Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah.
I'm
Do you guys
stalling
have
because I'm
some?
trying to like
start off?
multitask here.
Oh man, now I can't remember the.
You're on the spot.
You have all the. Where's all your notes?
I think you took mine.
Oh, these are your notes.
I don't know.
He's having a
Oh,
hard time.
yeah, here they are.
They're all
My
written in
scribbles.
pencil on the back.
Man, I was back there just right.
Yeah.
All right, so we already talked about dragon variations, didn't we?
A tiny bit, yeah.
This is something we were always kind of wondering because, you know, necromancers are, I mean, it's very frowned upon, obviously. It's outlawed by the Sigic Order. Mages Guild hates them. So if I'm a necromancer and I'm running in Cyrodiil, do my interactions with NPCs, are they different than usual, or is it?
That's one of the things that we're looking at. So
Okay.
for now, we're focused on getting the world of Tamriel to react to you.
Right.
And where we're starting is with the justice reactions. So that's the I'm in town, I do something overtly necromantic, and they react. We're going to see how that plays, and then we're going to start to look into where else we can expand to if we expand to it
Gotcha.
all.
So the justice reaction is kind of the first part of that system.
That's the big part of it, and getting that in is the most important.
Gotcha. Cool.
Cool.
So playing as a necromancer around towns where you have to do a quest, where you're going to have to
That's a good question.
use your skills, it's going to be a trickier.
That's one of the things that we're looking
Yeah.
at. And we want the necromancer life to be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
You know, that fits the world and the
Maybe
land,
not
but
impossible.
Makes sense.
we
yeah.
want you to be able to complete the quests that are in
Yeah.
the game. So
Right.
it's something we're very, very
You're gonna
much
be
aware of
punishing the
and we're doing
noobs for.
Well, yeah, I mean, we kind of do that with justice. You know, you steal something and you get whacked by the guard right away. And you're like,
That's
what
one of
did
my
I
most
do?
favorite things ever, to watch a new streamer try ESO and then accidentally get crushed by guards.
So when you go into town, tone the necromancer down to like 2.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's overt necromancer
Yeah.
actions, right? Summoning pets, doing those kinds of things, rather than just I'm a necromancer.
Yeah, I exist.
Turning
Oh, well.
into a
Transforming into a
Colossus and
lich,
walk
yeah.
around. Yeah. Yeah.
I saw a lot of people asking about housing. So we do have some new houses coming. We don't have an exact release date yet, but it'll be sometime around Wrathstone launch. There's one really cool one in particular. It will be on PTS, so you'll be able to test it. But it's basic spoilers, I guess. I don't have to say it.
You can totally
have to
spoil it
say
if
it.
you want, but you're gonna make me sad if you do. No, we can totally tell.
So go
I
ahead,
make
Gina.
Rich
What were you
sad.
saying?
No,
You can
sorry.
totally sad.
Fun's over.
Do you want to talk about it?
Nope.
No,
Go for it,
okay.
Tina.
Okay.
It's all you.
So, I mean, there's 2 different ones, but I assume we're thinking of the same one. So it's basically like sort of a house arena. And there's going to be little traps that you can pull to kind of screw with the people dueling.
What?
It's
Oh,
pretty
man.
neat. It's pretty neat. It's a little
Wow.
different than the other houses we've had before.
Was
That's
that
awesome.
inspired by some of the arenas that players have made in their own houses?
There was that, and
Yeah.
then we got a lot of really great feedback from the battlegrounds that we have
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Was it Aldkarak? The Dwemer one with
Yeah.
the trap in the middle?
Yes.
That one gets a lot of really good feedback. And so we were like, well, let's try this. Let's do something different and see how it works.
How fun.
Rich, there's a lot of people in chat asking about race change tokens, since we're kind of adjusting, I think all of the racial passives are
Yeah.
being
We are
touched
doing
in
a
some
pass on
way.
them,
So what can we tell people for what we're sort of thinking about doing?
Yeah, Rich.
Nothing.
Okay.
No.
Sorry.
One of the things we want to do, and this is something that is going to take a little bit of work on our end, but we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to at least once change their race. So we want to give everybody 1 race change token per account.
What if you have 15 tunes and they're all lizards?
Maybe you should wait for the changes and evaluate
Asking for
that.
a friend.
But at the very
we know.
minimum, we want to make sure
Thank you.
everybody has a chance to change.
Yeah. Cool. So we mentioned this at the beginning of the show. Words again, I know. We mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but we will be giving everybody sort of a sneak peek of what's to come with the racial passive changes on the forums in the next day or two. So stay tuned for that. And of course, the full patch notes posted next week once we're on PTS. All right, what else? Sorry, my little thingy is popping out here.
We made the exact same face at the same time. The exact same face.
Somebody else just asked a question.
Side eye. Both of us were like, what?
Did you have some more lore questions?
No.
No?
No. You were answering them
I did
all
my
on the
job.
street.
It's all answered.
I'm like, oh, he's answering them all sweet.
Well, we have questions, but we've already been told that you won't answer them. So
What ones?
Well, we were. Well, I'm drawing a break now.
I'm totally putting him on the spot. What ones am I? Well,
I thought at the beginning of the show the mandate was not to ask questions that are going to have a non-answer. Per our general over here,
Don't point at me.
who is all like, "I'd rather not have a whole bunch of non-answers, please. So only ask the questions that
This is
can be
happening.
answered."
spoiler, like Steeler, or spoiler.
Like
Type
spoiler?
questions?
Yeah,
You know
any
what?
of the questions.
Fine.
Yeah.
Ask whatever questions you want. All right. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So somebody asked, Rich, cake or pie?
Cake or pie?
Yeah.
Chocolate cream pie.
There you go.
That's a good one. Nobody's
Well,
going to fault you for that.
Yeah.
I do have a question lore-wise because we've spent a lot of on your podcast. The last one you did, there was a whole bunch of information in there about dragon breaks and how significant they are.
A lot of
and there
people
was a
thought that
lot of
was-
specation about this one with the tablet
Well,
and
you
the
said
dragon break and
tablet
all
with the
that. And
dragon
as
on
it
it.
turns out,
Yeah.
dragon break isn't really what's happening here
That's right.
Yes.
at all.
That was an ultimate troll. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Wrathstone tablet, and you're going to find out more about this as you're kind of digging into the lore and progressing through the story, but it's actually the key to open the vault in Halls of Colossus,
Which is not a trial.
which is not
Does
a trial.
that mean dragons are about to come flying out of here? Because this tablet is...
I blame,
Together?
I blame Jordan for
That's
that
the key.
one. Yeah.
That was the key to the door.
Fortunately, we also have to be in the Halls of Colossus.
Oh, well, it's a good thing we're in
We're
Twitch
okay.
then. Phew. Somebody was just asking, are necromancers bundled with Elsweyr, kind of like what we did with the Warden?
Yes.
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 So if you pre-purchase or just outright purchase Elsweyr, you will get the necromancer with that, which is pretty cool.
It is a part.
So you want to talk about spell stones or spell crafting? Since I'm allowed to ask
Pulling out the
anything
tough
now.
questions.
You can totally ask.
So, well, that was another one of the theories that a lot of people came up with, because in that little cheeser, the
Right.
stones wrapped up like maybe, and the spell crafting, there was theories there's going to be stones and things like that. So I've read a lot of people throwing on banter around the spell crafting. So I was just curious if you had any discussion or topics or
It
things.
comes up. It comes up from time to time. It's something that we're not planning to do anytime soon. It's kind of on the back burner for now. You know, we have other bigger fish to fry, so to speak, with the Necromancer. We have balance
So it
issues.
could happen someday, maybe.
Well,
You're not saying no, is what you're saying.
Not saying
this is
yeah,
2012
but you're
all
not
over again
saying
with
no.
dragons. Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, it's not on our roadmap right now, but it's something that is a really cool idea and something we're interested in.
Right.
Similar to when you never said that there would never be dragons.
2012? No.
He's pulling out the date.
That was a long time ago.
What was the time on that?
A lot of people asking about class change tokens, since we have race change tokens, and I know that one's a little bit more difficult,
That one's
right?
a lot harder to do, and it's not something that we want to do right now.
Okay.
That's fair.
Well, alrighty then. Case
So the answer is no, chat.
Yes, no. Anybody else can talk now.
Any other questions?
Faction,
I'm trying to,
Factions change tokens.
That's another one that we're not super interested in doing. So it got a little bit easier with One Tamriel when we did that, where it didn't matter, you know, what alliance you were. You could kind of go anywhere and do anything. But it's not really a big, you know, it's not a big issue anymore. And it's something that we're not really interested in doing.
Gotcha.
Here's an interesting question about the PvP artifacts. Will the Emperor be able to pick up the artifact to become like
Oh
this
my God.
super
Super
mega
Emperor?
player?
You'll have to figure that out on your own.
Sounds like a player
promising.
testable scenario.
I don't even have to say it. Ninja just knows it.
Oh, this is a really good question. Wooler just sent this over. How does the whole Necromancer can't really do necromancy in PvE areas? How is that going to affect dueling? Because I know a lot of people like to duel in some of the major cities.
Good question.
Maybe you shouldn't duel in towns.
Especially in their crafting.
That's just how
Put your bear away.
It sounds like
Put your bear away.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That is a very good piece of advice.
Put your bear away around crafting, okay?
Oh, the Elfique. Somebody was just asking about those. What are Elfique for those that aren't
missed it?
familiar?
Adorable.
Kitties.
Yeah, I mean, they're essentially house cats. We would think of them as house cats. So these small, really cute, fur stock, if you will. That's what Lawrence always calls them, is fur stock.
Fur stock?
Fur stock. That's the type of Khajiit. Yes.
Cats if they could talk and do magic.
But yeah, essentially,
Yeah.
they have this really high affinity to magic. They're super intelligent. They talk, and you're going to get to learn a lot more about them and interact with them.
And they're known for being pretty mischievous, yeah.
They are, and the figure team had a lot of fun designing costumes for these. And
Are we
working
going to
these
see
things.
cats and hats? Cats and coats?
I mean, if you looked at
cats
the
and boots?
Asking me important questions.
cat in the hat, is that where you're going? If you paid really close attention to that Elsweyr video with Bill and Lawrence and Joe talking about Elsweyr, there's one image in there of some hats on some of the Elfique.
Oh my goodness. Somebody pull that out quick.
So if you had an Elfique in your player house, would it knock stuff off all of the...
That'd be really mean.
Hide
wouldn't it?
things.
That's like some jerk coming in and turning all the lights off.
Yeah, right? I'll be disappointed if we're not somewhere in Elsweyr and there's not an Elfique on the table knocking stuff off of the
If we're not elsewhere.
counter. Yeah.
We'll be here all night. Actually, no, we won't. All right, so unless there's any other questions from you, or
I'm
more?
shocked that you don't have any lore
You
questions.
answered all of
That's
them.
amazing.
You were like
You did
taking
the
my
best
script
job.
while I was sitting out there. Well done. You got them all.
you did the
Perfect.
best job.
That makes me happy.
So this is a really big year for the Elder Scrolls Online, you guys. Dragons are coming to Tamriel in Q2.
Badass dragons are
Going to Elsweyr. Gonna get to be a necromancer if you want.
and explore Khajiit culture.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun year.
And
Yeah.
a whole year of continuous story.
Season of
All
the Dragon.
connected.
Yep.
Story told in 4 parts with trailers to back it up.
For each part?
That's pretty significant. If you consider the first 4 years of the game have all been this sort of overarching story that ties together all the way sort of wrapping up in Somerset, and now we have an entire year now focused on finding out what happens over. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
I think it's a really great way to.
Yeah.
It's going to keep people engaged. It's going to
Yeah.
keep them entertained. And it makes it really easy for anybody kind of coming into the game to just get what's going on and what to do and where to go.
Yeah, if you start right now, you could just dive right into this particular story, and it's the same spot everybody else is.
Yep.
Is there
Level
going to be a
1.
new tutorial again?
There is. There's a brand new tutorial.
Awesome.
It is epic. It has lots of really cool stuff in there. You might get to see dragons right away in the tutorial. So yeah, it gets you right away into the story.
That's awesome.
And we're also going to have, we internally call it sort of a teaser quest, but that's going to be coming in the next few months.
Yep.
Just kind of getting you ready for Elsweyr, and everyone's going to be able to play it, whether you have pre-purchased or not. So get a little taste of what is to come, which will be pretty exciting.
And of course,
5-year anniversary.
Yes,
5-year anniversary this year.
How did we forget that?
Any teasers for anything fun that we could look forward to? 5 years is a big milestone.
5 years is a big
It
milestone.
is. I mean, we're going with the biggest story we've ever had this year.
It is. We have dragons, but we have some special things
Yeah,
coming
we do.
Yeah.
that I'm not going to tease. But it is.
Go on.
It is a huge milestone for us, and it's really thanks to the community that we kind of get to do the things we do. Matt touched on that a little bit at the start.
Matt Forer.
Matt, yes, the man. Are you mocking him?
No.
Is that what you're doing right there?
Nope.
Not at all.
That was an honorific.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, it's honorific. So
But yeah, we get to do the things we do because of you all.
The ESO
it's-
fam
it's
is the
the
best
ESO
fam.
fam is
Agreed.
Hashtag ESO fam.
by far the best community in gaming. And I
Agreed.
truly and utterly mean that. You know,
Agreed.
I've been in games for a very long time.
We love
Found
you
it.
guys.
Feels good.
And just seeing how the community works with each other and helps with each other and really supports each other is something very special. And I'm really happy to be a part of that.
I feel like we need to do a group hug or something. Like
We should.
Group
hug, everybody. Swoopy.
I'll go this way too.
so. PTS next week for update 21. That is Wrathstone. You can pre-purchase Elsweyr now. You get a mount immediately if you decide to pre-purchase digitally.
Awesome mount.
Yes, lots of neat little items that you'll get. You can pre-purchase right now for PC, Mac, Xbox, and PS4 NA. If you are playing in Europe, you'll be able to pre-purchase in the next couple days. So keep an eye out for that.
And we are going to be pushing you saw the really cool Dragon Elsweyr Moons character key art. We are pushing a wallpaper for that, so you can put Elsweyr on your mobile device and your desktops. So look for that on the Elder Scrolls Online site shortly after this stream. So now you have 2 wallpapers.
Yeah, we had the first milestone wallpaper, which we hit really fast.
Before we even started.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're some cool wallpapers. So
All right, so get hyped.
Yes.
it's
You guys
happening.
hyped?
Season of the Dragon, it's
I
here.
can't wait.
And thanks, guys, for
Great
coming
year.
out.
Yeah, thank you so
Enjoyed
much.
us
for
here.
having us.
This was
Thank
fun.
you.
Absolutely honored to be here.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy to have you. And thank you, of course, to chat
Yes,
for
thank you.
tuning in and watching and being with us
You guys
tonight.
blew me away with the support that you showed up with today.
Yeah.
I
all the
really
feels,
was
right?
worried that we weren't going to get close
How about
to
that?
that 90K mark.
Tattoo before you
And
even talked.
it blew up.
it.
Like,
We were laughing in the
so
other room.
Yeah.
We were
You
all
weren't even
going
live yet.
over
The
it, yeah.
trailer was good. We're all like, he's already got a tattoo. He doesn't even know it.
We saw you smiling, just sitting pretty. We're like,
yeah.
just
And
didn't
then
know.
I'm pretty sure all the color drained from my face when Kelly said you already have to get it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do
I
it.
don't know if you saw us pointing to the tramp stamp in the back. I think you were just kind of like,
Totally not going there.
We will record it and share it all with all of you
Yeah.
when it happens. So,
yes.
all right, thank you all.
Thank you guys so
Everybody.
much.
Thanks, everyone.